And so, Matt, thank you again for all the books, all the YouTube videos that you've created, all the travels and the lectures, all the ways that you also have helped light the way for us. And thank you for being with us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here with all of you. And if this is the first time that we are connecting, what I offer is a transmission of healing energy, and it comes through the sound of my voice and through the gaze that comes through eye contact. And I offer it to the world because we're at a point in history where it's not just about the big and bold ideas that we consider, but to actually feel the direct experience that this awakening consciousness is bringing to all. When we reflect, or at least when I reflect over the last 2 years, I went through an extraordinary experience that in some ways was some of the toughest times in my life. I had experienced many awakenings throughout my life, and over the last 2 years, I found myself going through an unexpected experience of coming back fully into the body I had previously woken up from. And in going through an experience of integration, I was so humbled and blessed to experience what I look at as perhaps the next stage beyond awakening, the stage of embodiment. And so, as I transmit with all of us tonight, I want to boldly offer this invitation, the invitation that in the new paradigm, the way we raise our vibration is by praising our vibration. And that just as much as we are all way showers and anchors of light, and we are living in a world where the collective aspect of humanity is just discovering unity consciousness or awakening out of the limitations of individual perception and realizing the interconnectedness that unites us as one. But what I find equally fascinating is also what are the beings who already have that spiritual orientation? What's their awakening? Because there's no such thing as a spiritual being waiting for the world to get its act together. And just as much as there are beings who are going through a process of existentially erasing the line between individual and collective, we equally, as spiritually oriented beings, are undergoing a process of erasing any perception of separation between spiritual and the personal. And so when we praise our vibration, like I often talk about in Whatever Arises, Love That, it is not love instead of fear. In the new paradigm, it is loving the one who hides in fear. It is not love instead of sadness, but using the love to embrace the sadness within us so that when we're in the presence of another being who is sad, we have practiced making such peace and such a connection of friendship and intimacy with our own emotions that we can actually hold space for the healings occurring in those who are manifested in our direction. And as spiritual beings, this is a time to erase any imagined barriers between the human experience, the personal experience, and the spiritual reality. We are not waking up out of being a person to hide in higher dimensions. We are bringing our higher dimensional consciousness into the physical form as a gateway that brings unity consciousness into this world, so we can begin collaborating, connecting, and recreating the infrastructure of this world from the inside out, all anchored at the vibration of love. To think about raising a vibration suggests that I'm going to lift my energy above a lower vibration to stay in the higher vibration. And so many beings have the misfortune of then blaming someone who bumped them out of their higher vibrational experience. But when we so boldly praise our vibration as a means of raising our vibration, we are taking the higher aspects of our infinite intelligence, the glory and radiance of our eternal hearts, and we are embracing every wound. We're consoling every fear, and we are allowing ourselves to go through a living experience of alchemy where we are living embodied agents of transformation that watch the work of art of the universe come alive within us when we love ourselves in response to whatever experience arises. We are no longer on paths assuming or trying to do any amount of spiritual work to get out of certain experiences. We accept from a space of surrendered resolve that every experience that we are having is not a sign of what you haven't worked on, looked at, or processed, or traced back to a past experience. For all of the memories that live in the cells of our bodies are one with the pain the world is still learning to face. And as we love in ourselves what arises spontaneously in experience, we are loosening the collective density that allows the world to find safety, to come out of hiding, and to find the ability to connect heart to heart and to bask in the glory of true intimacy without the fear of being annihilated by an awakening consciousness that is only intimidating when we hide in our egos and turn away from this invitation to become one with the love that we are. And as I personally reflect on the last few years of what has happened as I've come into the state of embodiment, what was important before has become impeccably important now. My service to humanity is not limited to the books I write, to the YouTube videos that have become popular, to this moment where I'm transmitting with you. My offering to humanity is the artistry of my personal conduct, where in every breath, the most important thing in my entire life is that I am giving anyone that enters my presence a course corrective experience of my gender, a course corrective experience of my race, a course corrective experience of my consciousness, and a course corrective experience of my form. For it is my greatest desire to not assume I know anything about the experiences of anyone's journey, so that I have so much to learn in listening to the unique testimony of every human being. And if they have been negatively affected, or any of one in their ancestry has been affected by the race my body expresses, by the gender my body reflects, by the consciousness I embody, or the form that I remind them of, it is my living duty and service as a heart-centered way shower of unity consciousness to be the difference of experience that allows this world to unite as one, and to do so in the name of love, as we as spiritual beings unite the personal with the spiritual. If we will raise our vibration, let us do so by praising our vibration, and let us love ourselves, connect with others, and face a world of uncertainty as the love that we are.
Boom.
Boom.
That's a big boom.
Thank you. And just really quickly, I just want to say that it is my living testimony, my awareness, and my suggestion that there is a way in which we can resolve every degree of unprocessed pain and darkness, but from the most loving standpoint, because that's the difference between consciousness and unconsciousness. And there is a way, as Neil so eloquently talked about, pure love. And then, of course, here is the follow up, and we are all here to learn the new way of being. So, and again, Scott and Deborah, both thank you so much for this invitation.
Oh, Matt, thank you so much for being with us. And Matt's going to be back on The Awakening World on Saturday night, June 10th. But between now and then, to discover all things Matt Kahn, it's
All
his
things back on.
All Things Matt Kahn.
Let's do it.
Because you deserve more love, not
Thank you,
less.
sir.
And it's at his website. It's mattkahn.org. And he
Mm,
spells it MATTKAHN
yes.
.org. And his books are wonderful. I love his books. I can remember I was at Wilbur Hot Springs when I first read Whatever Arises. Loved that. And I was there because I was in a hard time. And
Mm,
that book really helped me, Matt. So anyway, thank you so much for being with us.
thank
And
you. It's
this
an honor.
incredible transmission. Thank you.
Oh.